Hello, you're most welcome. This is the abridged version of the news due to the broadcast of the ongoing APC presidential primaries. I am Mojisola Sholaja. Our sincere apologies for cutting short. We shall continue immediately after the news. It is never too late to be who you might have been, says Judge Elliott. Ogun State Governor Prince Abeokuta has described the All Progressives Congress accreditation of the delegates across the 36 states as a huge success despite all challenges. Governor Abeokuta, who is the chairman of the Accreditation and Decoration Committee, disclosed that with the strategy being put in place, there is no doubt the convention will be a world-class presidential primary. He also explained how the delegates will vote for the candidate of their choice.
By the time voting starts, each delegate will be presented with their ballot paper. They must have their delegate tag, and those tags again will be scanned to ensure that, again, we are presenting someone who is genuine, and also that that person has not voted before. So once they scan that person and that person votes, that card cannot be passed on to somebody else. So all these features we have ensured that are embedded in the delegate card. I believe this is probably the first time this type of process is being used. So we are very hopeful, we're very excited that we will have a world-class presidential primary convention, and sometime between now and tomorrow morning, our new presidential hopeful will emerge.
Prince Abeokuta reacted to some of the isolated issues arising from delegates, especially from Enugu, Anambra, and Edo states.
36 states and FCT are being accredited, 2,322 odd delegates. If we have a few isolated cases, 1 or 2 out of 37, I don't think that is unusual. But you also rightly observe that those cases have since been resolved. Enugu is well being accredited, so also is Edo. Anambra has been accredited and they are already in Eagle Square. So all these cases have been well resolved, and all is underway again to have a first-class primary presidential convention.
While commending the committee for a job well done, the delegates were advised to vote wisely by contributing their quota to the Nigerian project.
Governor of Ogun State, who have provided leadership and who have showed to the whole world what Ogun State is capable of doing in terms of quality, in terms of arrangement and management of the exercise, where there are no rancor, there are no issues, and where there are issues, is settling it amicably so that everybody can participate in this convention. So far so good. It's been encouraging, and we are happy with what we are saying as a party.
We should think about the Nigeria of our dream, and that should get our vote. There are a lot of calls. As a delegate, I've received several calls and we've received pressure. And of course, some delegates, scramble for office. But I think the reason why we are here is to make sure that we contribute our own little quota to the Nigeria project.
Appeal to their conscience as they vote for their aspirants today. They should know that as delegates, the destiny of Nigeria lies on their hands today, and we hope God will lead us to do it well.
Like the Mr. President has advised, they should vote for someone that is formidable, popular, a candidate that you can be so sure that when you get the ticket, will going to win the election for the party.
The committee, made up of deputy governors, members of the National Assembly, and eminent party faithful, have deemed it fit to ensure a hitch-free primary. Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Arigbabu, has described Interschool Debate as one of the veritable tools for conflict resolution and for promotion of qualitative and efficient educational system. Professor Aribabu made the submission in Abeokuta during the official opening of the 2022 Southwest Zonal Final of President's Inter-Secondary Schools Debate Championship, organized by the Department of Education Support Services of the Ministry for Learners in Secondary Schools across the Southwest states. It mentioned assertiveness, persuasiveness, confidence, ability to speak convincingly, comportment, native intelligence, and good body language as the qualities of a good debater, urging them to develop the spirit of sportsmanship and marshal their points coherently. Aribabu said the program was aimed at encouraging and giving the learners opportunity to practice speaking up in front of an audience and to also boost their oratory skills.
Marshal your points, and that is where confidence comes in. That is where assertiveness comes in. That is where being able to persuasiveness, that is where it comes in. And of course, cognitive intelligence will also be there to help you. So I want you to have all those at the tips of your fingers so that you will be able to carry the day.
In his remarks, the National Coordinator, President Schools Debate Nigeria, Elder Dario Richu, explained that debate has been widely used across the world as instrument for dialogue between conflict groups, saying the President Schools Debate is committed towards sustaining the ideals of dialogue among learners across the nation. Earlier in her welcome address, the Director, Education Support Services, Mrs. Bamidele Makinde, noted that the championship would help to develop critical thinking skills that are essential in daily life, build confidence public speaking, and enable learners to express their ideas eloquently. She noted that the winner of the debate at zonal level will represent the Southwest region at national debate. Still on education, the Universal Basic Education Commission is conducting the 2022 National Personnel Audit (NPA) in 2 phases, starting from the 6th of June to the 23rd of July 2022. The southern phase, consisting of 17 states, has commenced from the 6th to 25th of June, while the northern phase, covering 19 states and the FCT, starts on the 4th to 23rd of July 2022. Series of consultations were held in the past weeks for the success of the conduct of the National Personnel Audit. State Universal Basic Education Boards and religious leaders, among others, were also involved in the planning process, an analytical period to update the basic education database.
We were able to generate a list of all schools in each state. In one of our interactive meetings, we asked officials to come along with the list they have, after giving them the existing list we have as at 2018. So while our officers are going to the field now, they are going with this list to each local government in the Federation, which was given by the state Education Management Information System officers.
Enumerators are expected to visit public and private registered and unregistered schools to collect data, an action that has already begun in the Southwest.
Act of the Commission, Section 9 F and L, empower the Commission to carry out in concert with the state and local governments at regular intervals a personnel audit of teaching and non-teaching of all staff of all basic education institutions in Nigeria.
Facts gathered will assist the country to plan in expanding access to quality education and gender parity at basic education level. The exercise will also reveal to the federal government how many school-age children are in schools and to note what further actions to be taken. The United Nations, the European Union, and the United Kingdom have condemned the attack on worshippers at St. Francis Catholic Church, Owo, in Ondo State. A statement by the spokesperson for UN Chief said the Secretary General condemns in the strongest terms the heinous attack in the St. Francis Catholic Church, in Owo, Ondo State, on June 5 that resulted in the death and injuries of scores of civilians as people gathered for the Pentecost service. According to the statement, Antonio Guterres, the UN Secretary General, urged the Nigerian authorities to spare no effort in bringing the perpetrators to justice, adding that attacks on places of worship are abhorrent. Also, the EU High Representative Joseph Borrell, in a statement issued in Brussels, expressing concern as well as condemning the attack on defenseless worshippers. Mr. Borrell described the recent attacks in Nigeria as unacceptable and becoming recurrent, while urging the government to bring the culprits to justice. Katrina Lang, UK envoy to Nigeria, in a tweet condemned those responsible for the horrific crime and extended sympathies to all those affected. Similarly, Vicky Ford, the UK Minister for Africa, in a tweet said she was horrified by the attack, insisting that perpetrators must face justice. The ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Iran to Nigeria, Muhammad Alibak, has said the ongoing Iran-Nigeria Joint Commission is a constructive step in boosting trade diplomacy between both countries. This was even as the Iranian envoy lamented the level of trade between Iran and Nigeria, saying that despite enjoying a 26-fold growth, the level of trade is not satisfying. Alibak, in a statement in Abuja, said a high-level delegation from Nigeria, headed by the Minister of State Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Zubairu Dada, is in Tehran to participate in the 6th Iran-Nigeria Joint Commission. Alibak also said the Joint Commission, which is holding after a 7-year interval, is a constructive initiative for further improving bilateral ties and paving the way for boosting trade between the two countries. Nigeria is Iran's third partner in Africa, but given the cordial political ties between Tehran and Abuja and abundant capacities, the level of bilateral trade ties is not favorable. The value of bilateral trade increased from $5 billion in 2019 to $18 million in 2020 and to more than $130 million in 2021. But despite enjoying a 26-fold growth, the level of trade is not satisfying yet and can be far beyond. The envoy said Iran has already started talks with Nigeria as part of efforts to tackle the challenge. Hoping the first flights between Tehran and Abuja will operate within the next few months. Both sides are also mulling the establishment of a shipping line between the two countries. And now to sport. Tiger Woods has confirmed he won't compete in the US Open next week after making his return at the Masters. In a statement on Twitter, he revealed his body needs to get stronger in order to take part in more championship golf and will therefore sit out the tournament, but that he does hope to return for the 150th Open at St. Andrews next month. The 46-year-old had to withdraw from the US PGA Championship in May after 3 rounds and does not feel ready for the next major of the year. In his last appearance at the PGA Championship at Southern Hills, Woods' fitness issues were laid bare. We have come to the end of the abridged version of the news. We shall go back to the broadcast of the APC presidential primary. Thanks for watching. I am Mujisola Shulaja.